The Caveman Method will kill your approach anxiety. When I was younger, talking to a girl was the scariest thing in the world for me. And now let me give you an example from just this past week when I was at the gym and I saw a beautiful 10 out of 10 girl. I just went up to her, introduced myself, had a small conversation, and got her info, and then started texting her. It was that simple. And this is the Caveman Method. I'm going to be breaking down exactly what it is and how you can apply it and how it will change your life. So what is the Caveman Method? Well, really what this is a simple way to understand a mindset as a whole. And mindset is the most important thing when you do anything. Whether you want to succeed at talking to girls, succeed in business, in the gym, your mindset that you have around that is the most important thing. And when it comes to approaching girls, the caveman mindset simplifies talking to girls, because back in the day, if you were a caveman, you would simply just go and talk to every attractive girl you saw. You wouldn't overthink it. You would just see if there was sort of a vibe, and if things went well, they went well, and if they didn't, you would just kind of leave and go on to talk to some other girl. And that is basically the essence of the caveman mindset. It's this simplified concept of just going and talking to attractive girls without overthinking it, without having too many expectations, without trying to force things to succeed or having things get built up in your head or anything like that. It's really just going, talking to girls, seeing how it goes. If there's a vibe and if things go well, you carry the conversation and you try and get her info and you build off of that however you like. And if not, no big deal. That is the essence of the Caveman Method, which is really more of a mindset than anything else. And it's just an idea that's simplified that's going to allow you to put it to practice. And boys, when you go up to girls, you need to know what to talk about. So for that reason, I built you a conversation mastery guide teaching you everything I know about how to start and have great conversations. That's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below. So where I apply the Caveman Method more than anywhere else is in nightlife. When I am in nightlife, especially in Scandinavia in the summer where there's all these like outdoor seating areas, it's so easy to talk to people. I will genuinely talk to 50 plus girls in a night, hands down. About 2 Tuesdays ago, I went out with my boy and I was joking at the pregame and I was like, how many girls do you think we're gonna talk to tonight? And he was like, I don't know. And he was like, yeah, we'll talk to some. And I was like, 200. And he was like, he just starts laughing. He's like, 200 girls, we're gonna talk to 200? And I was like, yes. And then he was like, okay, we'll see. He'd never been out with me partying, and then we ended up talking to so many, like actually in all actuality it was probably closer to like 50, but at the end of the night he was like, bro, I literally think we talked to 200 girls tonight. And I was like, I told you we were gonna do that shit. So how you're applying this is you're just going up to every girl that you find attractive and talking to her. Now this isn't like being autistic, and I don't want that to be portrayed in any way. This is more about being social. Like you can interpret this in 2 ways: the autistic way and take it the wrong way, or you can interpret it the right way and you can take this and be like, oh, I just need to be a social person who talks to everybody. Now I'm not going in with like pickup lines, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just going and starting simple conversations, introducing myself to the girls that I know, having basic combos. If things go well, they go well. If they don't, they don't. Like I already mentioned that before. And this is how I've been able to go to new cities all around Scandinavia. I've done this in 2 different cities in Sweden, 1 in Norway, and by the time I get established in that city, I will go out and I will be shaking hands with so many people that I know. I don't just talk to girls, by the way. I also talk to any guy that I think is cool, and I establish many different connections. So when I'm at the club, I am shaking hands with so many people, like, oh, what's up, bro? I'm giving girls hugs. I know so many people because I talk to so many, and this is how you get social. This is how you get known. This is how people like you. If you don't put yourself out there and you don't socialize, you're never gonna have success with girls or socially at all. And this is kind of how I want you to interpret the Caveman mindset. It's more of just a social mindset where you're putting yourself out there talking to everyone, and you can do this in the gym like I mentioned before. And this is how you can be that guy at the gym who just shows up, is giving girls hugs, asking them how they've been, you fist bump dudes. That can be you if you just put yourself out there and were as social as possible, and you use my basic communicative frameworks in the Conversation Mastery Guide. You'll have all the success in the world that you'd like. Now I want to break down why this is so successful and take you on a little bit of a journey back to when I was about 20, when I was first getting into nightlife, and how I acted then versus how I act now. So when I was first getting into nightlife, I was social. I will give myself that. I built my confidence. I was improving my communication skills, but I was nowhere near where I am now. And I would still struggle to introduce myself to everybody. I still had a little bit of like mental chatter, hesitation. I was much better than my younger self, but I still hadn't fully taken on this journey. So it would still be like a little bit of a battle. I was 90% on my own side and my mind was unified. 10% would be like a little scared or whatever. So I would talk to some girls and I had some success and all this good stuff, but I still wasn't like 100% in the way that I am now. And this was probably the biggest mistake and thing that I had to overcome when I was younger. It was just not fully putting myself out there. And that's really what the caveman mindset solves. Now, the caveman mindset, once again, it's just like this label. It's this identification of how kind of a caveman would think and how you can apply this to socializing and talking to girls. But like, let me take you to Norway, where I was about 4 or 5 months ago. I showed up to Norway in this new city, knowing absolutely no one, never been to Norway before in my life. And every single night, I had to make new friends, meet new girls. By the end, I knew some people, so I would shake hands and give girls hugs and stuff. But in the start, I knew absolutely no one, so I had to put myself out there constantly. If there wasn't any attractive girls, I would talk to some guys who looked cool. If there was attractive girls, I would go up to them and start chatting with them, sitting with them, making, friends, trying to get with some of them, whatever the situation was. But by the end, I ended up knowing so many people because I tenaciously put myself out there and I did not care. I talked to so many people in Norway, and it was really this like peak experience for me where I realized how social I could truly be. Even the year before, when I was in Sweden and I was going to this new city that I hang out in now, that's an hour north of where I am currently, I was still not at that full level. Like, I was way better than I was at 20. I was 22, 21, 22 at this point. But I still was, like, I was maybe like 99% of the way there. Like, I was talking to quite a few girls, but I still hadn't fully gotten to the level of savagery that I'm at now, where it's like I will talk to 50 girls in a night. Like, there's not a second of downtime. Like, back in the day, I remember having, like last year in that city, I remember having a couple seconds of like downtime where I'd be standing at the bar, just having a sip by myself. The only time that happens now is if I show up way too early and there's no one there, and I'm like, fuck, why did I come this early? God damn it. And then I make friends with the guards or whatever, and then I wait for people to come in, and then I start chatting. But besides that, if there's people, I am talking all night consistently. And if I'm not, I'm just in the way, like just kind of looking for someone who I want to talk to, and then I start a conversation with them. That's pretty much how the nights go, and this is why I'll talk to so many people, so many girls, and I have so much success. So that's really what this mindset's about, is it's a social mindset. We're just starting conversations with as many people as possible, and this will give you so much success with girls. I promise. It's the best thing that I've ever done. And once again, if you need help learning how to start and have great conversations, you can pick up my Conversation Mastery Guide. That's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below.